Do you feel like your TV is a bit too small? Well, bringing big screen entertainment into your home is actually more affordable than you think. And for $220, the Apeman LC650 video projector is definitely going to take your movie nights and gaming to the next level. The Apeman LC650 features native 1080p resolution, which I think is a minimum of what you should look for in any budget projector. Lower resolution projectors are only slightly cheaper, but you'll be happier with one capable of full HD like this Apeman. It comes with a mini remote that runs on two AAA batteries, which are not included, but it does have dedicated buttons for keystone correction, which I haven't seen on other projectors in this price range. But more about keystone correction later. Included accessories include a power cable, analog AV cable, and an HDMI cable, which is always a plus. As far as physical features go, on the back there's a 3.5mm headphone port and analog AV connections along with two USB and one HDMI port. Up on top there's only a solo power button. No other navigation buttons are available, so everything else has to be controlled through the remote. On the bottom there are 4 feet, which also double as the connection locations for a ceiling mount. But it's interesting that these feet don't have anti-slip pads on them for use on a table. And speaking of table mounting, there's an adjustable foot that helps vary the angle of the lens to compensate for projection angle. But let's get this into my media room and see what the Apeman LC650 can do. Setup is minimal, but I'll quickly run through the most important settings. There are all the usual picture settings for things like brightness and contrast, but depending on your screen and projector positioning, the reduced display setting can come in handy to shrink the image to fit your screen. This can be set down to 75% of the original screen size. And then there's digital keystone correction to compensate for the lens angle so the corners are square with the screen. And also remember there are keystone buttons on the remote as well. And finally, the rotate setting helps flip the image depending if the projector is on a table or ceiling, in addition to front or rear projection. But once everything is dialed in, the image from the LC650 looks fantastic. The colors are rich, and because this has 1080p resolution, the images are sharp. There are a number of video sources that can be connected to this projector, including streaming devices, gaming consoles, and computers. A variety of audio, video, and image files can be played through the USB ports too. You can also connect your Android or iPhone through USB with the correct adapter cables, making this super portable. On the right side, there's a very quiet cooling fan, one of the quietest I've heard on a budget projector. And if you've never gamed on a projector, you're definitely in for a treat, because the image can go as large as 300 feet. But you will lose some sharpness and brightness the bigger you go. If you have the option in your space, here's how the ceiling mount attaches to the projector. This is just a universal ceiling mount that I use on all my projectors, and if you want to learn more about it, I've listed it in the description. Not everyone can do ceiling mounting, but it leaves the area under the projector free for more seating or tables. And because ceiling mounting is permanent, the size setting can really help get the video image to fit on the screen. It really helps in case your distance measurements are off a bit. If you don't have an external audio system connected, the LC650 does have dual built-in speakers that are very similar to TV speakers.
And generations of people who maybe didn't get a chance to see a space shuttle launch, getting a chance again to see human spaceflight in our own backyard, if you will, is pretty exciting to be a part of.
After watching quite a bit of content, I have to say that the image quality is quite spectacular on the Apeman LC650. With native 1080p resolution and priced at $220, I'm sure that this affordable upgrade will impress everyone that sees it. If this video was helpful, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date on all my weekly videos.